Time now for your forewarned weather with Cedric Haynes.
All right, folks, of course, if you've stepped outside, you notice we've got some much cooler air in place. If you have not stepped outside, then you know at least yesterday we ushered in the official start of fall. Well, some folks are already taking advantage of that and getting a chance to capture some of these fall colors out there. Now, notice we're in the early stages of this, so you're not going to see the vibrant, widespread colors that you would normally see maybe a couple of weeks from now, but you will notice that we are starting to truly see some of those colors in some of the highest of elevations there. Here's another shot from Jamie sent in from Snow Basin, already showing us again some of those colors, but notice they're still a little muted right now, so we expect that to change as we go throughout the next couple of weeks again. But for now, you can still see some green mixed in with some light yellows and oranges here. But again, we're not at the peak season yet. Also, we'd like to see a little bit more moisture to really help with that color as well while we go through the next couple of weeks. We'll see how that plays out. Logan Canyon, Provo Canyon, if you're making your travels through there, pretty much still in that low color range. We are seeing some moderate color if you get on Mirror Lake Highway, or if you're maybe traveling east of Cedar City there in southern Utah, you may run into a little bit more of that color. But for the most part, low color showing up still from Brighton over to Park City, and then as you get down towards the Alpine Loop as well, which is another popular spot, right now we're just still dealing with some of that low color. Speaking of fall-like changes out there, hey, temperatures 5 to 15 degrees cooler than this time yesterday. Let me show you some of the numbers right now here in the Wasatch back here. Yeah, notice we may even have some patchy frost out there in some spots out there. I'm looking at these temperatures around 36 degrees currently in Park City, Summit Park at 34. Alta, you're sitting at about 34 degrees, 36 in Heber. We've got 35 in Timber Lakes there. So again, definitely some chilly, if not some frosty conditions in some of those spots. Meanwhile, the rest of the state still dealing with some cooler temperatures, low 50s along the Wasatch Front. I wouldn't be surprised we dip in the upper 40s briefly in the next hour or two. And then we have those 40s more widespread from Castle Country, parts of the West Desert, 48 in Cedar City. But yeah, check out St. George, still at 73 degrees currently for your temperature. All right, the weather map showing us high pressure ushering in some drier air. Our storm system getting kicked off towards the east. We could still see a morning shower across far northeastern Utah today, but for the most part, I think the moisture will be exiting to the east into Colorado with those scattered storms, and we focus on high pressure building in from the north and west. So that's the feature here on the upper level futurecast. Again, it's close enough that we're not going to see the unsettled weather, but we will see that northerly flow bringing in that Canadian air. That means below average temperatures for us for one more day, and then here comes the high pressure ridge building in for your Wednesday. So a warm up is indeed ahead for us as we go throughout your Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday. And then we'll be watching a storm system try to sneak in from the south by the end of the week. It's still going to be warm, but we may introduce a little moisture, especially for southwest Utah. Let me show you how that all plays out on Futurecast. Again, you'll be able to see a spotty shower this morning is possible across the north and east, but otherwise sunshine, beautiful weather conditions expected for the rest of your Tuesday afternoon. Wednesday, still sunny, but the winds, notice the red showing up coming in out of the south, and that's going to be some warmer temperatures, and that'll be with us in the Thursday as well. But again, could start to see a little moisture sneaking in from the south and west as we get towards your Thursday and beyond. So along the Wasatch Front, below average temperatures today, just a pleasant fall-like day with those temperatures into the mid-70s for your high. Southwest Utah, we've got low 90s for your high temperature today. Sunny and very warm conditions out there. Quite the change from north to south across the state. We'll be in the mid-90s in St. George on Wednesday with lots of sunshine. Again, those isolated storm chances with some moisture for the end of the week heading into the upcoming weekend. Meanwhile, the Wasatch Front, I've got us in the mid-70s today. Pleasant conditions, not too bad out there for us, but notice as we get towards the end of the week, we're back in the 80s with isolated storm chances for your Sunday and Monday. All right, let's get a check on your traffic this morning as we get you out the door. You'll be able to see here, still looking at more congestion out there on Bangor Highway. We've been watching a slowdown here due to a couple of incidents here that have occurred all along this route. But of course, you got the traffic lights as well, which tend to lead to a little bit of a backup. So be aware of that. But looks like our incident that we were keeping a close eye on has been cleared up now in the West Valley City area. But of course, the congestion still remains. So give yourself a little extra time if your travels take you through this way. Matt, Alyssa.